And he was Lars Gonsalves' last PhD student. As a grad student, he got interested in what Heisenberg did actually during World War II. Apparently a recurring theme, his thoughts. His research areas worked in fluid dynamics, turbulence, also on the dynamics of financial markets and turbulences. And he did some calculations on the reactor, the atomic reactor, and on bomb calculations from 1939 until 1945, producing them presumably. So we look very much forward to your talk about mathematics without mathematics.
Don't leave out superfoods. That's where I started. Yeah, okay, so I had last Wednesday before flying from Houston to Munich, I realized I hadn't started this talk yet, so I wrote it. And then last night I realized, well, it's not very good for historians because it's all mathematics, and I'd planned just to look at the mathematics and decide what to say, but then I looked at the slides and I thought, doesn't look too hot either. So I revised it, and we'll see how I do. There are a couple of main points. One of them is that this is actually what I did last year. There are some things that I did last year and some things that I did this spring. That some of it's come out in print in Alex Bloom's journal, and some of it's still in the pipeline. But what I showed last year is that Heisenberg knew how to calculate critical radii of spherical reactors, and since he showed he knew how to do it at Farm Hall, we can add bombs. But what's really new is he failed to calculate correctly for his last reactor, which was a cylinder, the Heisenberg V8 reactor. And I'll cover that at the end. Okay, so don't be frightened by the equations. I'm looking at them, and they're supposed to remind me what I'm supposed to try to explain non-mathematically, which I'm not very good at, I have to tell you. My wife can tell you that too. Yeah. Okay, so the points that I'm going to cover are that in 1939, Heisenberg calculated critical radii for natural uranium and heavy water mixes for a spherical reactor. And this is not an oddity. The first reactors that were built in Germany were spherical, and Fermi's first reactor, I'm not sure if the first or one of them, in Chicago was also spherical. Heisenberg was able to calculate exactly the expected performance, and I'll explain to you how this misled him in trying to understand how the Heisenberg reactor should have worked. Perrin was the first to calculate a critical radius for